Welcome to Fix My Ship, the place where we navigate through the storms and calm the waters of every kind of relationship, whether it's family, friendship, dating, marriage, or even workplace connections. No matter the issue, we believe every ship can be repaired with the right tools. We hope you enjoy this episode, and if you do, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a chance to grow with us. Let's fix some ships together. Welcome to another episode of Fix My Ship, where we are unscripted and unrehearsed. And we are definitely unscripted and unrehearsed today. I have two of my previous guests that were on episodes before. So I'm going to allow them again to introduce themselves. Again, I am Jocelyn. I'll say my name because people been saying my name here and there. But I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves.
Good morning, or if it's afternoon for you, I am Trina.
Hello, everyone. I'm Church Lady D. Rich.
So the episode that they were on, Trina was on the blended family, and Church Lady D. Rich was on the Church Ladies episode. So a couple of things came up that gave me the unction to want to talk about another topic. And what's funny is this topic has come up with every guest that I've had on my show so far. So I felt after I did the blended family with Trina that we would have this discussion about weight, body image, and how it affects us as women. We may have some of the husbands come in later and kind of like do a little cameo, but right now it's just the ladies. And I felt that it was important to have this discussion. It's still all unscripted and unrehearsed. I did do a couple of questions ahead of time. Y'all know I normally don't do questions ahead of time, but I did give them one question that I was going to start with. So before y'all come in these comments, which this and that and whatsoever, because I don't want to turn off comments. We are not here to bash anybody, and what I need everybody to understand is just because you're skinny don't mean you're healthy, and just because what we consider to be overweight and obese, it doesn't mean that you're not healthy. So it's sometimes where it's just you have too much weight and you can have too little weight too. So before anybody comes in the comments, we're trying to be holistic in what we're talking about, especially when it comes to body image and how we look at ourselves as women, specifically Black women, African American women, women of color, and I really want to kind of hone on African American because all that brown and all that other stuff. So that's the big thing that I want to preface it with. Where we're going to go in this conversation, I do not know. But I am going to start out with the question that I did give them right before we started this episode, which is, why do we eat, or why is food surrounded by those big events in our lives, whether it's baby showers, weddings, sweet 16s, funerals, all of those different events that we have in our life. So whoever wants to go first, that's where we're starting.
Well, this is Church Lady. Thank you for having me again. Personally, I think, or culturally, I think we use food as a way to entertain, to gather together. It's commonplace. It's an easy way to get people to come together. Hey, you say you're gonna have some food, I'll be there. You know, you're not gonna have no food, it's hard to get people to come. What you mean you're not gonna have no food? What? Who does that? Right?
Yeah.
And really, to be honest, it's not even a Black thing, that's an American thing.
Okay.
Just from my observation, my life living in America, everybody, when you have something, you got to have some food associated with it. It's like even at work, you know, When we have teachers appreciation, they gonna tag food with it. You know, okay, teachers, we have this spread for you all, and then we be looking like, who cooked the food? Did they have it catered?
Not who got
Okay. You understand? So yes, and I think we just start being a little bit picky about who cooked the food, who cooked what, and what I'm gonna eat. But food becomes very an important part of the fellowship.
Yeah.
I think it helps us to linger, because if the food is not there, then it's like, okay, I came to it. Okay, it's time to go. I came for it, and it's nothing here to help me or give me a reason to stay and linger around. Most of the time, the food is what caused me to be like, oh, what you get? You go, well, okay, well, you get a little bit of this, I get a little bit of that, you know, and then now you have conversation and you linger around. So I think that's why food has become an intricate part of our culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It brings community. And then it could go back to how we were raised and our families. Hospitality, I think, plays a big part. But to me, it's really community. It gets people together, whether you ain't seen them 10 years, 20 years, however the case may be. You bring that food, and it does bring everybody together. Now, why do we eat at these type of gatherings? I don't know, but that's what we do. We eat. And it be good eating, depending on who makes it, again. But, yeah, community.
I think, and it's a couple of TikToks, I think it is, going around now where they're like, listen, if you're having a baby shower, don't be doing all that extra. I want to have the meatballs. Like, already, we say, okay, just everybody name what's supposed to be at a baby shower. What's the baby shower food?
Meatballs, you want some wings.
Macaroni salad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know you're going to have cake.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
punch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, that's the baseline.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you got people going off in these comments like, stop doing all this fancy stuff. I want the meatballs, the wings, and the macaroni salad, and a little roll on the side.
Yeah.
A little roll.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some things we have really definitely made tradition. But I was listening to both of you all, and what came to mind is, before it was like I just cared if the food tasted good when I was younger.
Okay.
I just need to know if it was good or if it was nasty. Now it's like no. I don't care about if it's good. Who made that?
Yeah.
I'm not eating
Yeah.
from everybody.
Right. You're right.
I don't know what has changed in that, where before, it was like, okay, you knew you could pretty much eat anything you wanted. It's just, did you eat what they made?
Mm-hmm.
But now, I don't care about the taste. I ain't gonna say I don't care about the taste, but it's who made it first, and then the taste is second. Because I don't care what you made. If your spirit ain't right, I'm not eating nothing from you. I'm almost not gonna eat the prepackaged food, because now we done got there now where it's like, okay, everybody just, okay, we say we want wings. No, you don't need to fry them. Publix has the platter.
Yes.
You get the 50 piece.
Yeah, 50 piece, please. Order the day before. It'll be hot.
Wings, whichever one you prefer. Whatever
Yeah.
your pockets can get. We'll do that. Get the sauce on the side. Or you can do the Publix makes the sandwiches.
Yes.
Because we had one of our coworkers, we just did a 4th of July thing. And she brought her dish. I ain't gonna say what it is. If I say that, then they, oh God. And but somebody asked her for some of it that wasn't part of our department before she came. So that means it was open when she brought it to us.
No, you can't do that. No.
You can keep that. I'm not eating that.
Yeah. Nah, that's okay.
See, that's a no.
Yeah.
You don't open food
Right.
that is for
Yes.
us.
Right.
If you supposed to bring something to an event,
Yes.
Take your portion out before you
exactly.
Before you
You should have did that
Yes.
and refixed it.
Yes.
So I didn't know that it was taken out. I would have
Yes.
never known. But if it looked like it been open, I'm not touching that.
I'm not eating it. No, thank you. No.
I thought it was just me.
No,
Oh, no.
same. I'm not touching it. Mm-mm.
Well, already when I be at work, I be like, oh no, I need to be first in the line. I'm
Yeah.
like, not because I'm greedy and I want to because I want to get the food first.
It's everybody else.
Because most of the time I don't. Half of the time I'm not gonna even eat it anyway. I'd be like, no, I'm gonna save it for later. And half the time I throw the food in the garbage, I give it away to some child. But it's because I don't know, maybe it's a phobia. I don't like everybody picking over my food because you be seeing people come out the restroom,
And don't
they
wash
their
their
hands,
and you got double
you know,
dippers.
everybody, I'm like, no, I don't. So I think maybe because when we were younger, we didn't pay attention to a lot of things, you know, and as you get older, you know, I know for me when I was younger, it's just, I'm hungry and I want to eat. You understand what I'm saying? And then if something didn't taste good, I'd just be like, Mama, that didn't taste good. Can you go get me some something else because I'm still hungry, right? So Mama go and get something else. You know, because we know we couldn't go and get it.
Right.
But as you get older, you be like, I'm grown. You be like, no, what is this? No, this doesn't take. This is, you know. So now I have say in what I eat.
Right.
So I think as an adult now, because I have say in saying, no, I don't want that. No, you're not gonna just throw anything on my plate. Like, no, honey, can you put a little bit more on there? I'm not a little kid. You know, so things like that. So I think that's what starts to change the nature of how what we accept and being selective and who cooked that and okay, who cooked that? No, I don't want that. Oh, so and so cooked it. Oh yes, can you give me a little bit more, please? You know, like right, put it to the side for me. You know, right?
I sure got me an extra slice of cake.
Oh, okay.
4th of July week, and they know who they are. They listening. Sure did.
So I think
everybody got it.
Yeah, so I think it becomes things like that have caused us as adults. We have more choice.
Yeah.
And we can be more selective about who we eat from and we choose why, because again, like you said, so one aspect is, first of all, I'm not eating from somebody who don't like me.
Number one.
Oh my God.
Number one.
You know, and how you say, or you can like me, but you don't like my kids. Or
right.
You can like my husband, but you don't like me.
Right.
Or
yeah.
You know, just differently. You be like, no. And you're not finna give my kids food. No. We not. None of us is eating from you.
Exactly.
So all those things do play a part in who we accept. From you be like, no, that's okay, baby. We going out to eat. You know,
the whole dinner party is canceled.
Yes,
throw the whole dinner party away. We just gonna pass by. Don't we eat none? Y'all don't want to say hi, and we finna go.
Don't show your face.
You know, you be looking at your kids. You better not. You be like, no, thank you.
Just show your face.
You bet not. Ooh. Don't you know? So yeah. So
I think how I chose what I ate 10 years ago and now after COVID is still different, even in my adult phase. So I think, like I said, I did write that in my notes that just, I think a lot of times too, that spirituality, I don't care whatever it is y'all want to call it for the ones who don't go to church, because you know everybody out here, you know, is that one person at work or at church or wherever it is y'all go, you like, I'm not eating what it is. Just your discernment is telling you, because again, you watch the behaviors of people in and out every day. Are you digging in your nose and touching the keyboard when you at work? Like all those things, like, oh, okay, they use hand sanitizer. I had one coworker, this was before COVID, and I was like, we had been out, and y'all know I work at the airport. So we had been here and there or whatever. I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and go ahead and wash my hands. And she's like, I'm just gonna use the hand sanitizer. I said, no, you're not. I said, hand sanitizer is in place of, and when you don't have or whatever, I said, no, we're gonna go to the bathroom and we're gonna wash our hands.
Yeah.
And so it's just little things that I, start to pick up on. How many pets you got?
Them cats walking across the kitchen counter.
Oh, God. So I look at all of those things.
Yeah.
So do y'all have anything else y'all want to add to that? Yes, no, maybe so. But I don't know. I think everybody has really just been paying more attention
Absolutely.
to where they eat, how they eat. And do you all feel, I would just say maybe in the past from COVID on, that your eating choices, selections, why you do what it is that you do or purchase what you purchase, has that changed over the years when it comes to your eating?
Yes. Number one, as I get older and my body changes, oh Jesus, some stuff give me instant acid reflux. I'd be like, oh God, how I used to be like, why they always be talking about heartburn? And why they be talking about, you be like, heartburn and acid reflux, what that is?
Why they eating them little chalk things?
Yes. The
baby,
Rolaids and things.
I found myself, and I hate them things.
They nasty. Oh, they nasty.
I'd be like, oh my God. And
how do you spell relief?
Okay. So I'm like, and then you find yourself in like, oh Jesus. And you be like about to throw up in your sleep, and you can't sleep, and you like and you know we grew up where we a saucy family, can you put extra sauce on it? You know,
with rice and stuff.
You know, I like, can you put heavy mayo?
Yep.
You know, can you put extra ketchup?
Yes.
Can you put can you put a lot of hot sauce? You know, can you put extra cream cheese? You know, I'm like that. You know, that's the way
you close the sandwich and coming out.
I want everything oozing.
Sloppy.
You know?
I like sloppy sandwiches. Yes.
You know. So that was me and when I started having those issues from eating, because I was like, I would feel miserable. You know, it was either inflammation, my feet were swelling, my ankles were swelling, or I had heartburn so bad that I couldn't sleep. You know, my hands and fingers swelling. You know, so you start to notice these things, and I'm like, well, what's going on? What's happening here? You know something happening. You be like, oh, now you're getting a tingling. You know, but now you're scared to go to the doctor.
Yep.
Cause you like, oh God, but then you gotta go to the doctor.
Yes.
You know, because you got to address it. And then that's another thing, not being afraid to go to the doctor to address it, because you like, I know they probably going to tell me I got high blood pressure. I need to change my eating. So then you start living in denial, or you tell yourself things like how I would do. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to lose a little bit of weight before I go to the doctor.
Not you doing like free.
Yeah. Because because I want to go to the doctor, at a better. Yeah. You know, so I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna get myself together before I go to the doctor, so I don't want to appear, because we love because again, this still deals with image,
right,
and how we want people to view us. So even going to the doctor. Delaying going to the doctor because I don't want the doctor to see me in a bad way.
Right.
I don't want the doctor to be like, oh my God, what are you doing? Like, your health is horrible, So now I'm delaying putting that off and not really getting down to the nitty gritty, But it's like, okay, go to the doctor, So you see yourself starting to go through these transitions, but I said, okay, so those things happen, but how you say, all of that is a process over time. And I really feel like when I started to have those issues was when I got married. Because before I was married, I ate a certain way, but when I got married, it changed. Because now, excuse me, y'all, I apologize. I gave in a lot to what my husband wanted to eat, and I'd be like, I don't eat that. Oh, why you don't want to eat that? So I gave in a lot till now I was forming habits and things, and now I have addictions to food. You know, like I wasn't a bread eater. I wasn't a fried food person. I wasn't a person that ate a lot of beef and pork. Now, because I have a husband who likes to eat all those things and I'm cooking all those things, and but it's impacting me and my health in a different way. It's like, but look, like every time I try to say, can we slow down? Oh, here you go. So I'm like, oh my God, like, please. So, it's this roller coaster, of do I keep giving in to the person that I'm married to, that I say I love? I don't want to appear selfish, but then this is my health. Right. This is my body, and this is impacting me in a negative way. I got to get control of my health, my weight. I want to live and not die. So what am I going to do here? I got to take control, of this, so at some point in time, I had to say, I don't care what you want to eat. I got to make some adjustments. Okay. Here.
So, before we get to Trina, my last question, because some people may say, well, you could have just made a second meal. How do you feel about that?
Yes. And because I worked, he worked, right? It's exhausting.
Yes, it is.
Right? Because, and then at that time, my son was still home. So, you got to deal with trying to make sure you're being a good mom and being there for your kids, being a good wife, being there for your husband. Then you trying to do for yourself, Then my son, he like, oh, but mama, I want to, can you make me what you do? So now he want to, because he struggled as well with his weight, So now it's like, okay, yes, I'm making 2 sets of meal, or if I, so I went through different phases. I went through trying to make the meals and doing 2 sets of meal, and I'd be like, this is exhausting. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm exhausted. So then I try to order the food. Then my son, oh, mama, I'd be like, you're not going to like this food. No, mama, I am. You're not going to like this food because it's expensive. So I'm like, because it's my son, then I was like, you know what? I'll sacrifice and let my son do the plan, and I'll just go back to eating regular. See, so now you make it, I'm still sacrificing myself, and I'll let my son do it. Then I'm buying all the food. Now he like, oh, that's nasty, mama. Now you done had me buy all this doggone food, and you don't want to eat it. I'm like, boy, I don't have time to be wasting money like this, because with some of those, I done tried all kind of food plans. Baby, don't let me start with that too. But you spend all this money on this stuff. Like I could start something, and as long as I stuck to it, it was fine. But if you snuck something, that once you did that, it was like you deviate, and it was like your taste couldn't get back adjusted. Wow. I was like, sometimes I would be like, I wish I could be like those other people and just eat anything with no taste that tastes like cardboard. But I was like, that's not the way my body's set up.
Oh, the rice cakes and all of that.
No, the way the other people of the other persuasion is.
But that's what I'm saying.
It tastes like cardboard.
The rice cakes, the little ones.
Yeah. No, rice cakes. They have flavored rice cakes. No, those taste good. No, anything
they don't even put the seasoning on it.
Yeah, okay. Anything that came packaged all tastes the same.
Yeah.
It was horrendous. And I don't care what company it is, it all tastes the same. I have tried most of them. They all taste the same. Disgusting.
You're talking about the ones that's on the plan for real.
Okay. Yes,
real,
yes.
for
I'm
real.
talking about plans.
I got you now. Try.
Yes. So I have tried different things, so it is weight. You're dealing with different, so how you say weight. A lot of times we look at weight as just physical weight, but it's so much more than just the physical aspect of the weight, because although I was dealing with the physical aspect of my weight, it was my health, it was my mental state, it was the support I needed from those around me. I would try to exercise. My husband, he making jokes. I'd be like, oh, what the hell? Can you go away, please? I don't need you making jokes. Like, can you leave me alone? This, it's not funny to me.
Yeah.
Like, although you may be thinking like, oh, haha, you being cute at the time. No, it's insulting me. Right. You're hurting my feelings.
Yeah.
Not that I'm being overly sensitive. It's just, I'm really in a fight for my life. I know I need to do better.
Yeah.
Now I've developed high blood pressure. I'm taking medication because I've given in to you. You're not being supportive. You just telling me, oh, you want what you want. I'm trying to be a good wife, and now it's like, I can't. So it got to a point where I just had to say, I don't care. I don't care what you want.
Put you first.
Yeah.
I'm not eating that.
Right.
I'm not cooking that.
Right.
And it had to get to a point where I had to say, hey, Denavali, if you don't lose this amount of weight, it's okay. But if I can get rid of the inflammation, if I can feel better, if I can get rid of the acid reflux, it's okay. So I had to start taking it from that perspective, and that's why I did like a blood analysis and a hair analysis and things like that, because I was feeling awful. I was like, I had to have conversations with my husband to kind of just let him know, listen, I know you've been taking this lightly, because it was these yo-yos of weight loss over and over again. And I was like, no, I need to really, really get control of this, because I feel like I'm dying. And I need to get control of this. So I need to make sure that I am getting rid of certain things, because sometimes my legs would be so swollen that I would feel like they were about to bust.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, no, I got to see what it is. And when I took that hair and blood analysis, I literally was about to pass out.
Wow.
I got depressed.
Wow.
I shared with my mom and my sisters. Yes. And I was about to like pass out. But I done got to tell a whole story. Yes. But go ahead.
Miss Trina, how you say, what was the question that we had? Have you changed, or what is it that you do? What has happened in your life in the last 5 years, 10 years when it came to food and all of that?
Let me see. Within the last 5 years, I know for me, since when COVID came and shut us down, being home, being with the family, I ate more, gained more weight, and then during COVID, I had a breast reduction. And so with me having a breast reduction, it made like I had smaller boobs. I still think I have smaller boobs now. But
just smaller than what they was before.
Yeah, they was double D cups. But I had a reduction. So as a result of the reduction, my stomach stuck out more. So to me, it was like, oh my God, I have this. To me, I have a gut. And it was like, I was working out. One thing about me, I am not consistent with working out. I will start and then stop, start, stop. and then be like, whatever. So I gained, more weight and stuff. And I was trying to, I was getting like personal training from my cousin. I was just trying to do like little things here and there, but again, I was never consistent. So I can honestly say I've tried several things, but I've never saw nothing through. And for me, I always want like a quick fix. I want something that's gonna get it done right now. But I never follow through or try to eat right or try to do this or try to do that. And then later on, I want to say a couple of years later, I got to a point where I was heavy and I cried about my body image. And for me, it's hard to get me to cry. So for me to stand in the mirror, look at myself, I actually cried. I said to myself, self said, what? I am going to get me a tummy tuck. And that's what I did. I went, I believe it was 2022, I think it was. I don't know. That I had gotten a tummy tuck. For myself, my husband was against it. Everybody was against it. But my mind was made up. I was like, listen, this is me. I don't like how I look. I don't like how I feel. And if I'm sitting here crying, something is wrong. So I had a tummy tuck. Needless to say, one thing about surgeries, they don't give you all the facts about it. The healing, the damages, the emotions, and had I known everything, because everybody sees like the glamour on social media. I feel like social media is the place that everybody pretends to be. I could go on there with a whole two-piece on and y'all be like, oh my God, look at her. But y'all don't know. I felt like my wounds opened up with my surgery. My drains wouldn't heal. I used to be around here bent over crying. Why did I do this? I would never do that again. And so even with that quote unquote quick fix, it worked for a little while. But I gained some of the weight back in my stomach, but not to the point of where I was beforehand. But to me, I'm petite. I'm short. So to me, to be a certain weight or it doesn't look right to me. So to me, like even at my image where I'm at now, I feel like I'm overweight. And my husband looked at me. He was like, "No, you're not." I said, "Yeah, but you don't see what I see. I see my little chicken skin and my little chins and stuff like that." And so now I'm back at trying to tone it up. I don't want to lose weight drastically, but I just want to get to a certain point. But I feel like I'm at a plateau where I don't go over, I don't go under. I'm just stuck in a middle place with my weight. And that has been, needless to say, a struggle, and trying to maintain I just want to be healthy. I don't want to lose weight to put on stuff and go out. No, I just want to be healthy. I don't want to be, because I'm hearing people who are in good shape dropping dead. Like, oh, they had a heart attack. Oh, this person, how? They work out. They do this. They do that. But I just want to be in a place of where I am healthy. No more, no less. I tried to work out with my husband. Y'all know this man. He ain't got an ounce of body fat. So when we working out, he trying to tell me, oh, you got to do it. Sir, no. You ain't got nothing hanging, jiggling, wiggling, nothing. I can remember one time being on the ground, laying down, and he was like, "Ben, you gotta get flatter. You gotta get flatter." I say, "Sir," look what's under me. I say, it's a butt. That's the lowest that I'm able to go. I can't go. So needless to say, no. You stay over there. You go ahead on, because his metabolism is just wonderful. Mine's is shot to hell. I don't know where it's at, but that's where I'm at, trying to, get my little self together. But I think once COVID came, once I got married too, I gained more weight. I was fine. I guess my metabolism was still doing what it was supposed to do. I was going to Zumba. I used to love Zumba. I used to go 3 times a week. So I knew if I was going to cheat or overeat, I was going to do it on the days that I was going to go to Zumba. But once I got married, I don't know if it's happy weight or whatever. I don't want it no more.
Zoom in another way. Oh.
I was having a lot of ministry too, so you know.
That's exercise.
Yeah, burn calories. So, but yeah.
And I'm gonna make sure I give my reply because D Rich, church lady or whatever, we want to hear your perspective.
Yeah.
But I know for me, I'm not a person that sits in the mirror, so I'm not big on mirrors or whatever.
Okay.
I put it on. I ain't one that's in that type of image, so I think for me, weight kind of crept up on me, and then I'm like, let me get a scale, because sometimes for me, I'm like, as long as I can fit in my clothes, I'm good.
Okay.
But then I have to realize I don't wear tight clothes. So I have room to grow in my clothes. So once I start putting on clothes and they tight, I'm like, let me look at my phone. When the last time? I just wore this last year. I can't get in this now. It's 6 months later.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking at that, and then I said, what ended up happening, I think it was definitely that, and then going back and looking at pictures, because I did take selfies, so I could see it in my face, and I'm like, And men, I don't care. I don't know how big or how skinny you got to be for them to be like, ugh, and no, because it's like, what's the problem?
Right.
So I couldn't use my husband as a way to be as for a gauge or whatever. And for me, COVID in the last 5 years, I still worked. So I don't have the excuse of I was at home. I was at home more. They lessened the days that we had to go into work, but I still worked the whole time. I actually got smaller in the beginning years of COVID. It's just these recent years, like in the last 2 years, I started being grown and living my best life, and was like, I want it, I buy it. I like it, I eat it. Whatever it was, and I ain't have no it wasn't so much that I was eating all day. I just ate whatever I felt like, what I wanted, with no regard of what would happen after. And I was a person that more or less ate maybe 1.5 times a day. If I ate 2 meals, like if I ate breakfast and then dinner, or breakfast, that was a big thing for me. And now I was like, we found our little sipping spot or whatever, so we started going there more. So I think that started adding on. And I think my biggest thing now, which didn't really used to be a problem, is sugar. And I got a lot of my sugar from candy, but now I'm like, no, I'm eating a lot of sugar. So I'm still trying to find that happy medium in there, because when I go and I do the test, and that's why I tell people, just because first off, people don't even believe I weigh what I weigh when I tell them that, and I'm like, I'm glad for my body build, because I know I'm not supposed to be at the weight that I am. I know it's supposed to be definitely 40 pounds less than what it is right now. And I think, like I was saying before, just to piggyback off what D. Rich said with losing the weight before you go to the doctors, I think a lot of times, especially for people that are on the heavier side, you try to lose the weight because you want to eliminate that, because everything, just lose the weight, just lose the weight, just lose the weight. And I'm like, every health problem that people have, yes, some of it will stem from weight, and I'll probably say maybe 50% of it will, but I think doctors don't take that extra look. When they see you coming in, it's like, well, I can't do nothing with you until you lose the weight. And it's like, no, I'm not here for an exercise program. Right. So I think that may be why a lot of people do that as well, because they will, I think, just stop and not do any extra research with modern medicine instead of going up. They don't even do the holistic approach. But I just want to say that little piece on there. But I think, like I said, to sum it up, I probably was careless in what it was I was doing at 9. I try to eat right, do all that stuff, and the scale be like, try again next week. Yes, I'm like, I did try this week. What you mean? I gotta try harder. Like I said before, I'm a person, it's not that I don't mind exercise, because I'm a walker. I like to walk. But I am a person, when I know that I really want to lose weight, I go with food first, because if I do the walking and all of that, that'll help me maintain. So I'm like, no, I need to know that I'm eating correctly. Now the pounds have come off. Okay, then I can go ahead and do the exercise, because I know I'm not finna be exercising like this every day for the next 20 years. So I try to be a little bit more realistic, that I know regardless of whether I'm exercising, I'm still going to have to make change. I cannot eat what I want to eat and then exercise and think I'm going to lose weight. So I think a lot of times, for me, I definitely take that approach first. I lose the weight and then I start exercising. I don't know if that's good, bad, or ugly, but one other thing that I do, a thought that came to me when you were talking about having that breast reduction, Trina, was before you had the breast reduction, your stomach was always there.
Right.
And weight hides a lot of things. Even though people just think, oh, you big or whatever the case is, or you skinny. When you had that reduction, it exposed other things that you didn't realize was there all of the time.
Stuck out.
So now you like, I thought this was going, okay, I'm going to get it together, girls popping, and no, what is this? Sit all the way down. So, and if y'all listening to me, when I speak, I'm speaking with duality as far as the things that it is that I'm saying, because weight covers up.
Yeah.
Weight hides. And then weight also exposes. Losing weight exposes.
Yeah.
So I just want to caution everybody into that. That's why I'm like, regardless of your size, when you look at other people and you like, man, I want to be like that. Again, you don't know what that person did to get what it is they have. Did they go to the hospital and almost die, and now they just was like, okay, I had to do it, or whatever the case is. And again, like Dear say, this swelling up, this tingling, this, I think I had something, I don't know what it was I ate, and I woke up, I'm like, I didn't even have to look at my hands. I felt that my hands were swollen before I woke up out the bed, and I'm like, why are my hands, swollen? So I think taking a diary of what it is you eat, I think will help too. But I'm gonna end on that note, but just really have everybody understand that you think losing the weight is going to solve, or getting rid of your body part, whatever it is, you think it solves a problem, and then it ends up creating another issue or another concern or another dislike in your body. And I'll let either one of y'all speak, and that's when we start talking about image, because it's like, okay, you had the reduction, and now here you are, like, now I need something else.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, we doing like tattoos. You get one, you gotta get another, you gotta get another, you gotta get another, like where it's gonna stop. So.
Yeah.
Anybody want to talk about that? Y'all can talk about that.
Body image. I mean, you are what you think. For me, I see heavier than what I am. Is it the reality? Not sure. I don't know why I have this perception. Nobody walks around like, girl, you're so big, you need to. Nobody does these things to me. Nobody says nothing. But to me, it's like, okay, I need to do something. And I know I be bleeding my family ears in this house about, I need to go lose some weight. I need to run. I got a whole gym membership. I've been this week twice. And last time I been was in May. And it was like, I'm paying this money. Like what are you doing? Like what are you doing? What do you want? And then I think last month, because like I said, I'm the quick fix type chick. I started the Wegovy injections. I did it for a month, and then I stopped. I was like, you know what? This is not reality. I'm not going to take these injections till I die, just to try to maintain some weight or curb my appetite or this, that. But one thing I do know that works for me, I do intermittent fasting, and that just works. I don't know why. Even if I try or not try. That just works for me. I get up in the morning, I have my coffee, my Cuban coffee, and then I don't eat nothing until 12. But I'm a snacker. Like I like to snack, and I like the late night snack. So you'll catch me getting up, watching Grey's Anatomy. I'm going there and rambling, grab an Oreo or two, maybe 4, and then I'm gonna go back in the room and lay down. The thing is, I know the things to do. If I want to be healthy, I know you got to drink water. I know you have to, for me, have portion control and exercise and don't eat late and all of those things. I know those things. But I'm also the person, I like a good meal. I like to eat. I like sweets. I like, stuff like that. But nowadays, I think we as women, what we see, we compete We compete with other women. And it's almost like I was saying on the last episode, now when I go out, I am a very self-conscious woman. So I'm not going to go outside with no booty shorts, no nothing holding me, nothing tight, nothing like that. Because I don't like attention. I've never been the type. I do not like attention. So I'm going to purposely make sure I'm dressed apart. Now when I go out with my daughter, it's like, Mama, what you got on? I said, I don't care about these folks. I got my man.
No, look, and the bodies that we have automatically bring the attention.
Right.
So that'd be a problem there too.
So I am very, just very cautious about how I look, but it's more or less how I feel about myself.
So y'all, and I can still trim all the stuff. We got, my daughter just came in, and one of the husbands, they done came in and surprised us. You can talk whatever. I can trim it out. It's fine.
Hey.
What was it?
I was like,
Because I ain't gonna pause it.
nobody.
I ain't gonna pause it.
Look, I ain't even get up down to the door because I wasn't expecting nobody.
I was talking about how I need to come see you, and then found out you was here. So might as well.
Yes.
We're going out to eat. I just want to say
Oh, where y'all going?
to mind our business.
Ooh,
Oh, you know what?
You know what? The both of them.
Okay, twin.
Nope.
Nobody.
Love y'all.
Love you too, sugar. See y'all later. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yes. Look, I'm sorry. I looked at the door. I am not expecting nobody.
No, I didn't want to.
I'll pick it up from here. So, D-Rich, do you want to say anything about image, or do you want to pick up where you were talking about after doing all your tests?
I don't know, because again, how you say weight is so much more than just weight. But when you talk about image, to kind of piggyback off of what Trina was saying, it's comparison.
Yeah.
We do a lot of comparison, and then even though we'll say, I don't care what nobody thinks about how I look, but we do care, you know. So even when I'm putting it on, you be like, oh, they ain't ready for me when I come, whatever, you know.
Yes.
You know, you still want somebody to be like, when I get that, like, oh, look at you, girl, you so cute.
Yes.
You know.
Come on, jacket. Yes. Come
Right?
on.
You still want that compliment,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
or you want your husband to be like, where you going?
Yes.
You know, like, dog, he ain't gonna never say nothing, you know, like, okay, don't be taking it for granted. Oh, you ain't gonna say nothing, somebody else will,
Hello.
you know.
Yes.
So yes, image it still is important. I think, but again, it almost becomes but it still almost becomes a thing of, so as a man thinketh,
Right.
so is he, because how do I see myself, right? Because now if I see myself in a positive way, I don't put so much value on what other people think,
Right.
because I don't need it. So
Right.
the neediness of needing a compliment from you becomes less.
Right.
Do I like when people compliment me? Sure. Everybody likes to be complimented, but I don't need it.
Right.
It's not as important. But if I'm not in a healthy place, mindset wise, then now it becomes a lifeline for me for it to be important. And now the motive of why I dress the way I dress, and when I step out the door, becomes different. And now how you say, my appearance and what people think of me image wise causes me to do other things,
Yeah.
and then that causes people to go in debt because now I'm
Yeah.
buying clothes that I don't need to buy. I'm buying makeup that I don't need to buy.
Yep.
I'm getting my hair done too many times, but I don't need to get my hair
Yeah.
done. You know, like you start doing stuff that you don't need to do because I want people to, oh, your nails are pretty, so now I got to stay up on my nails. You know, okay. You know, instead of getting a hairdo that, you know, can last you a little while, now I got to keep going because I want people to, oh, your hair always be so pretty. Listen, honey, I ain't got money to be keeping up with
time.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Just all of the energy we put in trying to keep up an image, and a lot of times that image is false.
Right.
You know, and then so what do we give in exchange for that? Right? Is that, you know, like I heard you make a little comment over there, because when you, that time that you give, now did you neglect what you were supposed to do at home?
Right.
Did you neglect, like, now you have no time for your husband, you have no time for your kids, you obligated yourself to do something that you said you was going to commit to do at church,
Right.
or whatever, you know, oh, well, I don't have time, I don't got time, you know, because I'm trying to keep up an image, you know, so we have to be careful about that. But my segue to that is, a lot of times, how did we develop those thoughts and things to get us to even start thinking about ourselves? And I know for me, it started at home.
Same.
Growing up.
Same.
And growing up, I was very small. But my dad always used to make me feel like I was 300 pounds. And I was very skinny, you know, but because I was taller than everybody, you know, oh, you know, everybody sees me, oh, you're so big. Oh, you're so big, you know. And I'm like, I always think about when I graduated as a senior from high school, I wore 125 pounds.
So before you continue in that, when did you realize you weren't as big as you thought you were?
It was, how you say, when I got married, and I started to really gain weight, because I started changing my eating habit. I got married when I was 30. Well, that was my second marriage. I got married when I was 30 officially. That's when it really dawned on me that I wasn't as big as everybody made me think that I was, because even when I have a picture in my room at my house, and I was like, I was a healthy weight. I was like, and I look at that picture, I was like, because I was working at Super Praying. I was like, child, my stomach was, I was like, girl, I was looking good.
Real quick right now.
I was like, I was 30 years old. I was like, I was looking good.
Yeah.
I said, but again, because
Mindset.
when you're told something over and over again, you have to be careful about what's going in your ear gates and what you accept.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can hear something over and over again, but do I accept what's being told to me?
Right.
Or do I say, no, I don't accept that. I bring every thought, negative thought, captive into the obedience of Christ. And I'm going to think of those things that are lovely, that are pure, that are honest, that are just, that are... Right? No, I don't accept that lie.
Right.
Right? And I'm going to cast that down.
Right.
Right? Or I take on those attributes of things that are being said to me, and now I start to live that out because I manifest the words that have been spoken over my life.
Right.
And I set those things in motion. So that's when I really, really began to realize, like, wow. I was like, I wasn't overweight until after marriage. You know, I didn't really struggle with my weight like that until after marriage.
I think that's the same thing here. When I really think about it, that's how maturing for me.
Oh yeah.
That's what that did. So they want you to gain 20, and then I lost 10, and then I had the second one. So I'm already 10 pounds heavy. I gained the 20, and I lost the 10. Okay. And now I'm actually 20 pounds heavy. And then I had that third one, and I gained the 20, and I lost the 10. So that right there, I know exactly where them little hot 30 pounds. I know exactly where them came from. I was monitoring those, and then the other ones is just like. I'm thinking even when I went to my 20th year reunion, I was still, I was a little bit heavier than what I wanted to be. But I was like, hey, look, this 20 years, girl, you'll be all right. So, I was fine. I was like, all right, I was good with that. But I think as each phase or things, all those pivotal moments started happening, I think some of it I started making an excuse of, well, you're older now. It's okay. Yeah. So sometimes it's like, yes, you can have control of your thoughts, and then now you got so much control, you like, oh, don't worry about it because that's this, and you done made an excuse for everything for why you look the way that you look. So the mind works both ways in that too. That's why I said I didn't. When I started, I was like, I know I'm going to be speaking in a lot of duality because you can have your thoughts and, but are you thinking the right things still? Because I this is what I was thinking and I wanted to think that way, but that probably still wasn't good to just be like, just accepting that, like you say, accepting that thought causes you not to do things that you can do to counter, and I definitely would not have been where I was right now, but I accepted the weight. I made a good excuse for it and it sounded good. So I went about my business and kept eating what I was eating.
See, I can't do that. That's the thing.
Well, I don't know. I think at one point in time, I just think I got to a point where I just didn't care anymore.
See?
I didn't care. I just I don't care, I give up. But I think that's why I got to the point where now I was having an inflammation problem and I was having it because I stopped caring.
Right, you weren't even monitoring nothing.
Correct. I stopped caring, but it cost me. Not caring cost me. So that's why I said, because I was giving in to everybody. So I was like, I was tired of trying to juggle everything. Yeah. So I was like, no, I don't care. Whatever, child. But not caring, taking the time to balance it all. Okay. Right? Can cost you too. You have to care. You have to care about yourself because if you don't take the time to care for you and your health, you ain't gonna be here for nobody.
Right. You ain't gonna be here.
And again, that's that social media. You want to say something?
Yeah, I was, for me, I don't think I've ever, well, now I make the comment if I go out, I'll be like, look, I don't care how I look. Look, I got my man at home. It's not like I'm going out there looking like a busted rag or anything like that. But it's just different. Like I said, I've always struggled with body image. I don't know. I've always been, for me, I was always skinny. I mean, bony, skinny. Even when I had the boy, I think I got up to, after I had him, I got to 135. That's after having him. But it was always 130s. And then after after I turned 35, I probably went up to 140s, 50-ish. But it's now, I feel like now this is the heaviest I've ever been without being pregnant. So to me, it's wait a minute. This ain't you. What's going on? What you got going on? Or why you and then again, social media makes you I don't go on. I post a birthday and then I come off, or somebody tell me, hey, I posted this. I go on and I come off because I've gotten to you get to see people out here losing weight and doing this and doing that. And it's well, what the heck am I? What am I doing? Now I'm gonna sit here and compare myself to you, but you on here, you always naked. Why is you always naked? And this is just a little insert. Put your clothes on. Put your clothes on. It's been 5 years you've been naked. You ain't got no man. Put your clothes on.
Lord.
Put your clothes on. Carry on. Okay, that's just listen. You ain't got. If you doing all that and he ain't there, just stop. Something ain't right. I'm just saying. But again, to each his own. But sis, put your clothes on. Okay. But my husband, he never makes me feel well, you need to do this, or maybe if you tone that down, or maybe if you shape that up. He has never He has never given me that. I bring him my insecurities. And be like, well, baby, what you think? He was like, well, if you was getting big or if you was getting, I would let you know. But it was like, you sure you gonna let me know? Like, you sure? Am I all right? Like, because it's like, at the end of the day, he always tells me I married what I wanted. And I was like, okay, I hear you. But when you married what you wanted, I was 20 pounds lighter. So now I'm not. But is it still you married what you wanted?
I told you, their gauge is not the same as
It's-
ours.
I mean,
you
he
waiting
is
on him to tell you.
unbothered.
You're going to be way past where you think.
Unbothered soul about how I look and in them jeans and could care less.
Them jeans is dreaming. He like, what's the problem?
You tell him, as long as your booty don't go nowhere, I'm all right. I'm like, well, Reverend, it ain't going nowhere.
It makes me think about when I worked in the plant with all men. And a lot of times in talking to the men that love their wives, a lot of times they was like, I don't care if my wife get 300 pounds. I'm not leaving my wife. So men who love their wives, they look at that differently. That's what I saw through my observation. They didn't care if their wives gained weight. They was like, that's my wife and I love my wife and I ain't going nowhere. You know, now men who had, then I saw the opposite side, men who had issues with their wives and called their wives bees. I can't stand that bee. This, that. Now they had the issues and, she this, she that. Now they were going to pick out all the flaws and say, she need to do this and she need to do that. Da, 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 da. So those were the things that I saw. So I think their tolerance or what bothered them and what didn't bother them, was different. So I think when they love you or they still feel like, hey, I love my wife, they don't care. But then if they start to feel like they're unhappy, now it becomes an issue.
I think going on the people who, we'll just call them the trophy wife. And I think the people who have the trophy wife, that means more than likely they probably were the trophy wife from the beginning. Okay. So they accepted the fact, we call that high maintenance. Yeah. And they like, I ain't got a problem. I'm gonna pay for you to look like you need to look. Yeah. And it's like when you fall off, baby, they let you know you got one extra crease in your pinky. Yeah. Or whatever. They gonna tell you whatever it is. So I think a lot of times it could be where you have those individuals who married the person with that expectation of this is who I'm getting. We met at the gym. You was doing this, you was doing that. Or even if they weren't so much in shape, they met you in shape. And that's what you put before them. That is what you advertise. So they have that expectation. And unfortunately for women, we like how you say, he already here. I think it fell when they came in. You know how you say they you already got them, so I ain't got to do the work. So that'll work if you were depending on what you presented. But when you present this Coke bottle and the whole package ready to do whatever the case is, I think men like, that's what I like. That's why I married you. I married you because you was skinny. I ain't marry you because you was big. You was working out, da-da-da. So I think a lot of times women don't think about that too. Now, that is not to give men a free pass at anything and be like, now you can do that, because life happens. And I'm pretty sure those men that have those wives probably done gained a couple pounds too. I don't care who you are. Majority of people are not lesser in their weight when they are older.
I agree.
Hold on, we gonna take a pause. You looking for your phone? I heard all that fall when they got it. You got
when
excited.
They came, I got excited and happy.
You got excited.
Lord, it might
you got excited
underneath.
And I heard a big old thud. I was like, I know I heard a thud. So I think that's going to be relationship or marriage specific, where it's like, does that person, and even if it is not a rule, but I think that also needs to be taken into consideration. What did you present to your spouse? What did you present to your husband? Because we talk about the women. What did you present to your husband when y'all were courting, dating, whatever words you want to use? And then when you got married, what were you doing in those first couple of years? And then some of it is, if it was a real health issue, then that needs to be addressed accordingly. But if it's just life happens, I mean, it's fair for him to be like, well, okay, babe, whatever. But I just think it's social media.
Yeah.
And where we are now with social media, I'm a skinny girl. And that's what happens when you go on social media, because big girls rocking right now.
You better know it, huh?
So if I'm somebody, I don't care to be a big girl. Me, in comparison to where the big girls are, I'm skinty. And that's the problem when you start getting to comparison, because you like, yeah, you skinny compared to them, but then when you go home and you try to go put on your clothes, you fat.
Yeah.
So what is it? So I think a lot of times you say, well, I ain't that big. I ain't that skinny, you know, I ain't looking like I'm all anorexic. So all of those things play a part into how you still view your self-image, because what you see on the outside also affects on the inside, even if nobody's saying anything to you. And that's where you get into the power of advertisement. So I started thinking when I was listening to y'all speak as far as where we went. So, you know, it was kind of like the Forever 21s, and then it, you know, they was like, hey, they don't have nothing for the big girls. So then you had Ashley Stewart, Lane Bryant. So it became where they didn't make it so inconvenient for people to be larger, which we needed that, because, you know, it's like, okay, if a person is big, they still need something to wear.
Right.
You know, so it was good that you had those stores, but I think that was another thing that made us more comfortable with getting bigger. And then for me, I remember when I was younger, and that's because I was different size too, I couldn't buy nothing out of Lane Bryant or Ashley Stewart. I used to like some of the stuff they had in there, but I wasn't big enough to fit in it. Now I'm like, wait, has Ashley Stewart always been the size that it is? Because I can shop at Ashley Stewart now. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they done changed the size. Okay. But I was like,
They done made
I know.
the sizes a little bit lower.
Yes, which is also an indicator that more people are larger. And that's the thing, to really speak to those that are listening, that if you keep comparing yourself to your neighbor, you're going to have a problem, because what was small is now big, you know, and then big has become extra. Like everything has gone up one size, two size. Almost sometimes, like I got a big foot, and I'm like, when I used to get a large with the little flip flop, I could wear the large flip flop. I put my foot in the large, I feel like I'm in a small, like I'm in a kiddie shoe. You know, so it's like in some things clothes have gotten bigger, and then in other, you know, pants or whatever, it's gotten smaller. Then everything is stretchy, so you're not getting anything to constrain.
Right.
Recalibrate your mind, because you like, if it said that it was a 16, it is a 16, and it is a 16. You can't stretch it to 18, and that's the problem, because you have the room to grow. So they have made the clothes, you know, to give you the room to grow, but it's taking away our perception as well when it comes to clothes and social media.
Yeah.
So, you know, they got big girl models, you know, all of that, you know, the big girl breaking the internet with the Uber or whatever. It's like, it's okay to be big. And I'm like, it is okay to be big if you're comfortable and you're okay in it.
Right.
So if you're somebody that say, I don't care, I'm big, and I'm living my best life, y'all can go on ahead, kick rocks, more power to you. Do you feel like that all day, every day though?
Right.
Is the question that I have.
Right.
Because it is some big girls that I see make me want to get my whole life together. They be having the makeup, blah, 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 blah. And then I forget about all the other side. Well, first of all, how long did it take them to put on the makeup?
Right.
Can they go outside without the makeup?
Right.
And that's even for the skinny people too.
Right.
Can you go outside without all the extra stuff
Right.
on? And that's where we start really talking about pulling off all of those layers.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into no hair, because that's a whole nother different subject. But when we start talking about just the things that we're putting on, that's that 1, 2, 3. You can take off your clothes. You can take off your makeup. When it comes to that weight, we can't take that off. And
Right.
that's why I say that weight, it covers, hides, and exposes all at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to make an assumption that anybody, one that feels they are overweight, regardless of what other people think, if you feel you overweight and you have not been able to lose weight, I want you to understand that now you are dealing with a mind issue.
Right.
You are dealing with your mentality, your perspectives, your perceptions, all of those things. Because whether you want to call it an addiction or whatever the case is, now that's when you get in the process in your mind. And I'll give you 10% the stuff they putting in the food.
Right.
Because
Right.
that is definitely, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but we got to give some of this to the things that they are putting in food to inhibit you. It makes you gain, but it inhibits you from losing.
Right.
And then if you do things to counter and lose, it makes you gain even more. When you really start studying the things and the science of food and what they're doing. So I won't get into that part, but I will definitely say if you are dealing with the weight issue, if you feel, again, that you're too skinny, that is mental. It is not what you're putting in your mouth. If you get your mind right, it'll change what you're putting on your plate. It'll change where you put your feet. It'll change all of those things. So I want to put that part out there, because I know I want to lose weight, but I like to lay in the bed. Me and the bed get along very well. I don't even have to be sleep.
Yes.
I call that resting. Sleep is not rest. Sleep is part of it, but I'm like, if you're having nightmares while you sleep, you're not resting. So sometimes we still don't get good sleep even when we sleep. So those are things that people need to look at too. How much are you spending worrying about things? Where is your mind? Where is your mind? Because if you're thinking on all these other things, it affects your health. It affects what you eat. It affects how you eat. It affects why you eat. It affects when you eat.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I yield on that.
Yep. And that's why I go back to something Trina said earlier. Although, yes, I could stand to lose quite a bit of weight, but I stopped trying to focus so much on the weight and just dealing with some of the other stuff, the inflammation, the tingling, and all those things, the acid reflux. So I dealt with those things, and dealing with those things, I started to feel better. So no, I may not be have lost the weight or things like that, but my feet ain't hurting.
I know that's right.
And that's more important.
My bones ain't hurting.
Yeah.
My knees ain't cracking. I ain't like, why is my knee? Because sometimes you don't realize that. I wanted to go back to when I did the hair and blood analysis, and why I got so depressed about when it said I had a high food sensitivity to so many different foods, because I was like, so I can't eat nothing. But what I realized was, because I was like, God, you got to help me understand this. I don't get this. I was like, potatoes, cabbage, pears, strawberries. It was just becoming so overwhelming. If I just start going down that list, just like different little things. So, like my sister them know, I'll sit and crunch on carrots. Carrots was on my list, like who sits and eats carrots,
Give me some good celery.
So stuff like that, and I'm like, here I am thinking I'm being healthy, and I was harming myself. So then I was like, well, God, what am I supposed to do with this? And I got so down, about it. And so then, like, the Holy Spirit was like, no, what it's just telling you is you have a high food sensitivity. So don't eat all this stuff in combination with with each other. So I think it's wise to know what you have food sensitivities to, because those are allergens. So sometimes I was having all those things in meals and all day long. You understand? And
so
right. You understand? So so now I have an awareness of, how many times if I feel like my feet look a little swollen today, my ankles are a little swollen, what did I eat today? Oh, you know what, I had this and that. No, I can't do that. So I think having those type of tests will give you an awareness of, hey, I need to make sure. That's why going to the doctor,
right,
and doing those things. Don't be afraid. Have an awareness of your body. You got to learn your body,
right,
and how to go about, so that at least you can feel better. Because sometimes you just taking it as, I got a headache.
Right. Mm-hmm.
or
Right.
my stomach hurting, but it's really things that are attacking your body to make you not feel good. You be like, oh, why every time I eat this, we'll self-diagnose ourselves
Yes, we will.
all the time. And I'm like, no, we're feeling horrible, but we just keep going, and and now you just popping 2 Tylenol or Aleve or Advil or something, and you keep going. No, you shouldn't be doing that, and because I'm a person, I don't believe in just popping Aleve or Advil or something like that. So when I started to make those changes in how I combined foods and things like that, I don't really deal with inflammation. Like when I go like this and I feel my fingers, I be like, oh yeah, I feel good. Or if I go to pull on my ring, if my ring feel a little, I be like,
I don't even wear my wedding ring. I haven't worn my wedding ring in months. That's my indicator. I'm like, oh God.
So things like that, I pay attention to, because like at one point in time, I didn't drink soda for years.
Okay.
And then I started like, okay, drinking ginger ale or Sprite, so because sometimes and I'm gonna tell you, so what I noticed with my body was that my body responded more negatively to sugar than it did to salt.
Okay. Wow.
Right? So if I ate a candy bar and then I had a piece of cake and then I had some ice cream, my feet was gonna swell faster than if I had ate a bag of potato chips.
Chicken or something.
It's just sugar. Sugar for me is like very, very, I have to be very, very careful with sugar. Now I don't like over salted food. I don't like highly seasoned food. I can't eat it. I can't eat it, so I don't eat very, very highly seasoned.
Salty or seasoned?
I say highly seasoned food, because sometimes people they over salt food. So when I eat,
the salty is different.
Yeah,
I'm just the seasoned part. I like well seasoned food.
Yeah, me too.
I like flavorful food.
Yeah.
But a lot of food for me, when I start to eat it, like for instance, if I can eat something, but what's going to happen is it very quickly tells, because I pay attention now. Whereas before, I would just take it as, oh, I just don't feel good, I'm going to go lay down. I go, and let's say, okay, I go and I get some KFC. It may not taste like, ooh, this is highly seasoned or whatever. But when I go to lay down and I get that acid reflux, this is not good for me. I cannot eat this.
Right.
Because this is having a negative impact on me. So you got to start paying attention to how is your body reacting when you eat certain things. That's why I'd be like, no, like what started to help me more was meal prepping. Did it take a little bit more time to meal prep? It did. But because I didn't have to think about what I was going to eat because it was already ready, and I could just go and grab it, I didn't snack as much.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, you hungry? There go your breakfast. You hungry? There go your lunch. You hungry? There go your dinner. So I would meal prep for in the middle of the week, and then if I wanted to say, okay, go out on the weekend, then I would do that. So I kind of started, that's how I kind of got rid of all those bad feelings, and then I had to get rid of the sauce. You know, like if I ate French fries, I didn't put ketchup on it.
Okay.
Because now, remember, doing that test, and because it talked about all sauces.
Wow.
Even salad dressing. So now if I eat the French fry and I put ketchup on it, I already know I am going to deal with this acid reflux. Even though that seemed like something very, very simple. Yeah. So now I have to decide.
Well, I want
the shrimp eaters.
So now most of the time you'll see me, I'll eat French fries and I put no ketchup on it. You understand? So I had to, now I have to make a conscious decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and those are that's
about the mind and
the mindset, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what starts to happen with weight. You know, how you say those things that you don't see, that I have to make a conscious decision on how I want to feel.
Yeah.
Right? People be, oh, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. And you think, okay, the pill gonna work. But sometimes I would go to take the Tums and the Rolaids and the prescribed medicine that the doctor give me, and I was getting no relief.
Wow.
Now you praying to God,
Stuck.
please God.
Lord, please.
Lord.
Please, God.
Please God.
Because this shows some people that make that conscious decision. Oh well, I'm gonna eat. How you say we gonna eat this and die? What?
And I'm like, no.
Wow.
And I think that's what some people do when they have diabetes. You like, they're gonna cut your arm off.
Yeah.
They're gonna cut your leg off. Child, oh well, you know, or you have people, everybody gonna die for something. No. I don't want my leg
Not
cut.
controllable stuff.
Yeah, you know. So yes. So you know, people are making choices. You know, but like I told you, I choose to live.
Yeah.
And how I live. I don't want to have diabetes.
Right.
You know, diabetes doesn't run in my family.
Right.
But I don't want to give the devil no room.
No, I'm saying that's the worst one to have. I don't know if it's type 1, type 2. I think it's type 2.
Type 2.
The one that you get from the eating, it's like, no, that's you.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, we gonna control the numbers that we could control.
Right.
You know, don't let those things get out of control. And I'm not even saying accept the things that happen to you hereditarily, but you know, you say, okay, you figure it out, and you figure it out, and you realize, okay, some things I'm prone to have, and that's where you speak against those things, or you do things that help combat it. And when you start talking about, like I say, from that type 1 to that type 2,
Right.
some things is just, okay, you're choosing
Right.
to be that way. And I'm very thankful that we don't have that sugar thing going on.
Yeah,
'cause
same
that's- Oh boy.
Same here.
You know, because
Yeah.
everything turns into sugar.
Right.
Everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
even the fruit.
Yeah.
Everything turns
Yeah.
into sugar.
The
So
fruit.
it's like, you know, it's easy when you're on the outside. Let people, why you can't, it's fruit. Why you know? And I think a lot of times people are not sensitive to those things and what happens to other people's body. But I would say this: one, know your body type. When I say your body type, your blood type. You need to know your blood type. They have a book called Eat for Your Blood Type, and it tells you all of these things. The A blood type is pretty much the vegetarians. The B blood type is they kind of like I want to say the O's can eat pretty much any and everything, and I think the B is kind of a mixture. I forgot which one it is, but I know A is definitely the vegetarians. And then O is the meat eaters. That's what it is. O is the meat eaters, and B is the mixture. So that's just that in a nutshell. But I mean, it was things that I started finding out. I'm like, first of all, how y'all knew to put conch on this list? Why is y'all even over there in the Caribbean looking up stuff,
They
comparing
going to get
it
that conch.
to blood types,
That
and
conch.
talking about we can't eat that?
This conch.
So it started being a common denominator between a lot of the groups was chicken, as far as not eating that. And if you go and you look it up, they have an app and they have a book. But when you go and look it up, it's some things on there that are never, some in moderation, and then your best things to eat. So I would definitely encourage everybody to at least find out your blood type. And I don't know why that's been a whole secret all of our lives. Like, you think when you're getting these annual checkups, you're getting STDs, you're getting all of these different things for your blood work, and it's not. I really think you're getting all the blood work done so they can find out how they can charge you for other stuff. So you knowing your blood type is not top priority for them. And you getting just really knowing what you should eat, that's not a common thing.
Yeah.
So I'll stop right there.
Yeah.
So I think and we had already talked about why do you see, I think that's just the internal thing of why do you see yourself the way that you see yourself is something that everybody needs to go back to and do a lot of introspection on that. Because there's some people that for me, I feel like I'm big and they're like, nah, you good for your height and this, and I'll be like, nah, I know better. So even when, again, we talk about that acceptance, I know where I want to be.
Right.
I don't even care what you think, because if I listen to people, I'm fine. I probably could gain another 10 pounds listening to people.
Mm-hmm.
And then they ask, what does my husband say? I'm like, he don't have a problem with it. So for me, I have no checks. I have no balances on anything. So when it comes to your weight, it has to be your own personal journey. But I think if you do it right, you'll have people that you can take with you on your journey when you're dealing with your weight. But it has to start with you and for you first.
Right.
So, again, I don't know why we have some of the images that we have, but I think all body types are rocking right now.
Right.
It's like they want you to be comfortable in the skin that you're in. I also think that we're at the point of everybody is at an unhealthy skin. And that's why they want everybody to be comfortable. So that's just my take on what it is I see. I see a lot of people that are way too skinny. I'm not putting you on the scale. I'm not looking at no chart. You are you bony.
Yeah,
I can count your clavicle and the inches between.
Yeah,
that it ain't supposed to look like that. So like I said, I ain't getting into all these charts that they have in man's made system. Right. But some people are. I'm like, no, you need to eat.
Yeah, get that sandwich, sis.
And the potato chips.
Yeah.
With the slouchy.
Yeah.
All the mayonnaise.
Yeah.
The mustard.
Yeah. Cut it in half.
Put 1,000 Island on it if you want to at this point.
Mustard.
Double the meat.
Yeah.
So I think, and I got mad because I think that was right before COVID. I was doing, it's so many ways now for meal prepping, because you had brought that up. And I really want to caution people with meal prepping, especially when you're not cooking the food. So I had got to the point where I knew the food that I was going to eat, which is me buying, let's just say, whatever fast food it was at the time. So this was 2018, 2019. It was even Chick-fil-A, because that was the whole thing. When I eat McDonald's, we eating Chick-fil-A. Now it's like, I ain't really up on that either. Mm-hmm. So what happened is I knew the food that I was purchasing was high in the sodium, high in all of those things. So I said, you know what? Let me go get the deli meat. So the first week, I was good. By the time I had got to that second week, and when I say I was bringing my food, I wasn't buying nothing, all of that stuff, I'm like, why are my hands swelling up? Why are my feet swelling up?
Meat.
Yes.
It's processed.
Because I want a Publix now. Boar's head. Hello, somebody.
Yeah.
Top of line.
Fancy.
Yes.
Luxury.
I wasn't even really doing too much cheese, but I had the lettuce and all the other stuff, and I was like, it was still all of the sodium, all the things, the preservatives that they were putting, the nitrates. That's when I really learned about the nitrates that they are putting in food. So I just want to caution everybody, even if you're going to meal prep, you still need to be careful in the selection that you're using, especially when you come to choosing your meat.
Right.
Because some stuff, and I did like pepperoni, and I opened up a bag of pepperoni one time because I was making the little adult Lunchables.
Okay.
Had a little pepperoni and the little cheese was already cut out or whatever and stuff. And I opened up that bag of pepperoni one day. I'm like, first of all, you got a whole packet, a fresh packet in the thing. The little, almost look like the packet that comes.
Yeah.
No, the little packet, like when you buy a purse or whatever, the little preserve is supposed to help with the moisture. It's moisture packets.
Okay. Oh,
but it look like the ones that come in your purse.
Okay, in the shoes.
Them little small, shoes, yes. And I was like, this smell like boo-boo. And I'm like, that's all of the nitrates and all the other stuff. So I very rarely do I eat cold cuts. So if you out there eating sandwiches, you work in construction, or you work outside, you can't get to the microwave, you're gonna have to do something better if you over here eating these processed meats. And they have really made everything good. Long time ago, that was over 20 years ago, I was eating them Hungry Man TV dinners. Them things was good.
Yeah.
That little fried chicken with that corn and that mash, it was good. I ain't really eat the mash, but I ate that corn and that chicken. Tastes like somebody's mama was frying that stuff. So I'm just, if you're meal prepping, you gotta take your time and select what is correct. If you have not gone to the doctor in the last 12 months, or more. You ain't been in the last 2-3 years. You ain't been since COVID.
Yes.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Especially if you know that you've gained weight and you're looking at more than 20 pounds and you're not going to the doctor.
Right.
That is not good. That is not good. So.
Yes, and all these things are becoming important, especially as you age, because now at a certain age, now it becomes more than just your mammogram and
a pap smear.
And a pap smear.
Right.
Now it's you got to get a colonoscopy.
Right.
Now they're doing checking your colon, and they're doing other tests. But we don't have prostate.
They do the men and no.
Right. Well, the men too. Yeah. For the women. I'm like, so it's other tests and things that they're doing. Hey, they send that color guard test to your house. Yes, you gotta go take it to the restroom. Stop leaving those boxes on the table. Go to the restroom and send them people to test so that they can check. We gotta stop being fearful. Again, it's being fearful because you be like, oh, I don't want to do it. Oh, this seems so nasty, whatever. But they're trying to let you do things in the privacy of your home.
Right, right.
But you gotta do the test. Do the test and send the box back. So that you can get your results and you can get your results and you can get care. It's a lot of times because we're putting off things. That we don't catch things in time, and then you wonder, oh, the person had cancer, things like that, and then it's like they could have caught it earlier, but because you keep putting it off, that's why I say about self-diagnosing. Stop self-diagnosing and just go get things checked out, Even like for me, hey, I'm a woman over 50 who's going through perimenopause, and I can't be saying because of the different things that I'm going through. I communicate with my doctor. Hey, but how long this take? Well, if it's looking like this, well, what that mean? Because people start assuming, and then I be looking because social media they show you. Then you be seeing people, I'm 58 and I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Because you thought because you was spotting that meant no period. No, that meant you still had a period. So it's like, no, those things are important. You still need to communicate and get an understanding and make sure you're communicating and explaining and giving them information so that you can get the correct information to take care of your body and your health.
Yes. Yes.
What I do want to say, because I'm on my way trying to be holistic. So for those who are in the audience listening, the other thing that I want to say is go still get the test. I want to say that as African Americans, the healthcare system is not designed for us
at all.
So diseases are diseases. It is something that is causing you a discomfort. So I will tell you, get the test. Look at the results, and then you decide the path that you want to take where you can combat it. So I will tell you, the test is the test. The results are the results. I think some things, our numbers probably can be higher than other ethnicities, and then some we probably need to be lower than other ethnicities. But I will still say go and get those checkups to make sure that you're okay in whatever numbers you think it is that you should have, even when it comes to our kidneys and things like that. Because a lot of things they just want to medicate, and that's how they're taught in that system. So even though you may find out that you have an ailment, talk to your doctor. Sometimes they can either recommend you to go to a holistic practitioner, and they are getting better and understanding that they need to go that route too, but they don't make all the money that they want to make out of it. So I'll leave you all with that, but just understand, go get the results, and you can still do with it what you will to holistically, naturally make yourself better. But I hope y'all have really enjoyed this episode. Maybe we'll talk about image again, but that's where we're at, and I want to thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all when we see you. Bye for now. Thanks for selling with us today on Fix My Ship, where no relationship is beyond repair. If something spoke to you, challenged you, or helped you see things differently, do us a favor. Like, comment, and subscribe so you stay anchored to truth and growth. And don't forget to share this episode with someone whose ship might be drifting. They just might need this too. Until next time, keep your heart open, keep your mind renewed, and your ship headed in the right direction. Peace and progress.